You have to sing it now.
No. I'm sorry.
It's not your bad. I didn't. This is awkward. I was gonna sing if there was like maybe not enough people to perform, but there's a lot of people.
We'll see.
Just sing your comedy. What, problem
I was
solved?
gonna do my old standby, the Billy Joel, but I can do that later. You want?
Now you have.
Really? We sing along.
They're just saying that.
New York State of Mind. You know? I haven't sung in a while, but now I'm gonna just do it. That wasn't planned at all. I guess I'm doing that. Am I?
Yes.
Now you have to. You
All
have
right,
to
all right,
actually
okay.
reply.
Let's do this now.
She's supposed to be singing right now. Yeah, do it.
All right. So, I really didn't come here to do that, but that was fun. But actually, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is sort of perform and do comedy, and sometimes it's just really actually every day I just walk around, and if somebody followed me around with a camera, it probably would work because sometimes my life can be fairly ridiculous for absolutely no reason at all. But, you know, so I made a few notes just to make sure that I, you know, told you a little bit about some of the things I think about. One of the things I was wondering, actually, as I was looking around the room is how many people here go to a gym? You're all liars.
Against my religion.
Right on, brother, right on. Well, so I belong to a gym also, though, and I have an annual membership there, which means I go once a year. No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually, I don't go that often, and actually, it's part of a vicious cycle, because once I go, after it's been a while, I get deterred from going back again, and then I wait a while, because every single time I walk in, because I'm really popular, a lot of people call my name, and so when I walk in, inevitably, this is what I'll hear from across a crowded, echoey room. Mara, oh my God! I have not seen you here in so long! Where have you been? And if that's not mortifying enough, it's followed by the sort of falling off a cliff voice with the eyes. So it's, you look great! Great! See, the voice goes down because their eyes just went down and they just stopped at ma bene. So, now, but I use the word belly intentionally because there's different words for this thing. There's abs, and there's stomach, which is really just for people who don't know their internal organs. There's tummy, and some cute little tummies, and then there's belly, which is like an onomatopoeia. When you say tummy, it's like tummy, and then when you say belly, it's like you just want to get into it. I'm a big belly. But you know, I think that we should love our belly. If you've got a belly in here, just love your belly. I love my belly, right? So, I was thinking, you know what I was thinking of doing was actually starting, like, you know those Soldier Fit, that exercise thing? I was thinking of starting one for people with bellies called Buddha Fit. And then, so what you do is you get on the floor and you sit in like that lotus position, and then you take deep breaths, and you just let your big belly hang out, and then you just feel peaceful about that. I thought that was an awesome idea. But there has to be criteria, otherwise... Oh, right. Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, everything in my house.
Oh, goody. Do you have a Buddha statue? It's very important. It's like the role model. But I actually was thinking that I should, that there should be some criteria, because, you know, you can't just like join a club unless you have criteria. So I actually narrowed it down to two. One of them is that your belly has to hang at least 1 inch over the pants. It has to. There's got to be a little muffin top or a bakery shop, depending on where you are. And the other one is that you have to have enough stretch marks so it looks like a map of the rivers. If you've got that, you are in the club. You are in the Buddha Club, and that is a good thing. That's a good club to be in. I'll be the president. But actually, I'd rather be that than a guy. There's this guy I always see at the gym, and because I'm like obviously an expert, I'll show you what he does. There's this machine called the tricep pull where you hold onto these ropes and you pull down, and you have to keep your arms locked because, you know, you see how that worked. Did you see it flexing? That's what you're supposed to do. But this guy, he's wearing his wife beater t-shirt and his man boobs, and he's standing there, and he goes, and I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm doing the tricep pull. I'm like, no, you're not. You're milking Bigfoot. I was like, oh. So I think he thinks he's really, really hot and in shape, and that's okay, because everybody has to feel good about themselves. But, you know, it's hard for me to get to the gym because I'm a mom. I've got 3 kids. And my oldest is a teenager. My middle one just became a teenager as well. I know, it's hard to believe. Look who's talking. But I was really looking forward to the teenage years because I really wanted to be the cool mom where everybody would come over. And all the kids would want to come to my house because I was the cool mom. And they'd be like, what's up, Mrs. D? And they would come in and they'd high five and then they'd talk about how they don't like their parents. And then they'd be like, why can't you be more like Mom? Why can't my parents be more like you? And I'd feel really good about myself. But then after a couple times, this did happen. And then they just stopped coming. And every time that there were plans, my daughter would say, we're going to go over to that person's house. We're going to go to Andy's house. And finally, I was really confused. I had planned this for so many years. And I said, why are you going to Andy's house every time? You guys always talk about his mom is boring. You know, she has outdated shoes and she wears those dungarees. And she said, Mom, because they have snacks. And I was like, are you serious? She goes, they have snacks. We don't have any snacks. And I was like, well, what do you expect me to do? Go to the grocery store? Their expectations are so high. It's really frustrating. It's like you can't please them at all. My mom, however, was a bit different from that. My mom is the opposite of me in that she is very quiet, very meek, and very shy. And the kindest, not that I'm not nice, but she makes me look like a bitch because she's so sweet. Kindest person you've ever met. But she took this a little too far. Because so far that, she didn't ever want to bother anybody. But she took it to a point where I thought it was a little much. We would go out to eat, and I would try to order something. And then I would try to order like maybe an appetizer or a salad with it or a drink. And she would say, no. That's how she talked, no. I was like, why can't I get that? She was like, don't get that. I was like, why can't I get something? And she goes, I don't want them to work too hard. Mom, that's how they make, never mind. Okay, that's fine. Her quietness in the restaurants also extended to the wait staff having a little bit of difficulty understanding her because she was just very quiet. So she would say she's ordering something, she would say, I'll have the salad. And they'd say, excuse me, ma'am? So instead of raising her voice, she would just open her mouth wider. And she'd go, I'll have the salad. That's not what they were, never mind. She'll have the salad. So, but she's a very sweet person. She contrasts greatly with my stepmother, who I love and adore, my stepmother. She is loud, very loud. And she has some interesting qualities that, well, my father loves her dearly. There's times that you know what I'm going to say. I know you know what I'm going to say. Shh, don't. She also has a little bit of a habit of, she has a little bit of food insecurity, I think. Or maybe it's just repetition. She will repeat everything that she's doing while she makes food. And she will have to repeat every single thing she's going to do to each individual person. So, okay, I'm going to wash the broccoli. Okay, here I am. I'm going to turn the cars, make it a little colder there. It's better, it's colder. But also when we all go to the beach together, she's cooking, which is great. But then, normally when you have to choose between like baked potato and sweet potato, right? You say, okay, how many people want baked potato? How many people want sweet potato? Good, we're done. This is not what she does. She goes, I'm going to just use you guys as an example. But, you want baked potato, sweet potato? Baked potato. Charity, you want baked potato, sweet potato? Hey, Bill, you want baked potato, sweet potato? Karen, you want baked potato? It's a little bit much. And she also has a little bit of trouble with making decisions. I mean, my father, let me just put it this way, my father couldn't give a shit. Okay? He doesn't care what kind of white bread. It's so low maintenance. He doesn't care about anything. She goes to the store and within 15 minutes she has called, I'm not joking, 10 times. And every single time, it's, Mom, do you think I should get the Wonder bread or the Schmidt? What do you think? And listen. Whichever you want. Well, the Wonder's squishier, yeah. Fine, yeah, that's a good choice. It looks to me like I left the quiet one for this. But luckily we're all day one big happy family. Except there's, we have some volume issues, but other than that, we're good. So that's a little bit about me, and I thank you all for your attention.
Bravo.